So here you can see the results for today. And as you can see, we're on 12.70k. I'm just gonna go ahead and refresh it. I tried Shopify dropshipping in Europe and the results were quite surprising.
Crazy!
For the longest time, I've tried to run Shopify stores to the USA and Canada, and sure, I did make some money, but I always find myself buried in competition. Nothing seemed to be working for me on a consistent basis, so I had to try something different. So I came to the conclusion that if I can't compete, I'd rather not play the game. So I decided to go with a unique and different approach to dropshipping and launch the store to Europe.
That is bloody lovely.
So as I told you, we're at 12.7k for the day. We're actually only halfway through the day. We've been hitting some really decent hours. And for the past 6 days, I've literally generated $60,000 and we're slowly scaling it up. Now I'm sure this looks awesome, but there's actually some very dark truths to it, and I almost ended up getting multiple times. Like for example, the time I thought I finally had a winning product and was gonna make a ton of money. Everything was perfectly lined up. I was getting website visitors, tons of people checking out, but 0 sales. Today, I want to break down my exact Shopify dropshipping strategy that's working so incredibly well right now. It makes me rich, beginners rich, my students rich, and a complete idiot could honestly make money with this. Not just talking, step by step, I will give you a live showcase of my method. So with this method of dropshipping, I have an exact product research strategy that I like to use. And it works absolutely amazing. This method of finding winning products will give you 1, proven to work products with engagements and data before you actually run it, and 2, a chance to analyze the market to the point where you can actually time your business idea perfectly and cash in big. So the product research strategy I use for this method is actually Mynea. It helps me see the data on the products I'm trying to run, and I can get information from the competitor that I can honestly just steal and do for myself. So with Mynea, I'm just gonna come up here to the ad section, and what I like to do in this case is to go for best of the month because I want to find those new winning products that's doing good in America. Now the only issue we have here is that it's sometimes just gonna show you like a lot of posts like this, which isn't really a dropshipping ad. So to combat that, you can just go ahead and increase the like amount, and that is in 9 out of 10 cases actually gonna solve it. But for like 10 minutes, I'm gonna scroll down here until I find a product I believe in. We, for example, have this foot massaging product right here, which has been working very well in the US lately, but it is a bit saturated, so I'm actually going to keep scrolling until I find something new. And let's pretend that I found this Galaxy projector right here. I had to search it up to make it a bit quicker for the video. After like 10 minutes, I'm gonna have a couple of products that I like. So we, for example, see this ad right there. It got almost 4,000 likes on it, 500 comments, and the status of the store is that it's currently running, so we could actually pull it up right here. And we can see on their website that it's decent, but it honestly doesn't look that good. I think it kind of screams dropshipping. They only got 1 photo review. It's simply not the best website, but I want to check if the product is trending because I can't just trust the engagement. And before I show you that, get Mynea. I'm gonna link it in the description. It's the best product research tool. I use it for all my product research. So now to check if the product is actually going to work, I'm gonna do some market research. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to TikTok. Obviously this is a bit saturated, it's just an example. And I'm gonna search for Galaxy projector to see if there's any demand for it. If you're on phone, you could literally filter this by the last week, last month, and last day to see if it's trending right now. But as we can see, based on this trend, it has 1.6 million views on this video, 10 million almost on that one. Tons of people are selling it. So ideally what I will be looking for is something that I only got like 5 to 10 stores selling it, but they're getting a lot of views. To double check if the product is saturated or not, I'm also gonna go over to the Facebook ad library right here. I'm just gathering all the info I can to know whether or not there is a demand. For the country selection, I'm gonna start with the USA and we're gonna search for Galaxy projector. And this is where I find out which market to run it in. And as we can see, it's super saturated, dude. 2,600 results is just simply no chance. So I'm gonna start scrolling and try to find a smaller market to see if anyone is running ads for it. So let's, for example, go with Belgium, and the results now are like about 1,000 less. Now for a less saturated product, you can find countries by simply just going down this menu and checking where it's saturated or not. We could even click Brazil right here, and now the results is cut in 4. As I said, typically you can find much lower results for a more untapped product. This was just an example, and that gives me a great indicator that this product is working well in America now, but nobody's really selling it to Europe. People aren't that different. I'm gonna try to sell it there and get all the money. So when I finally find something that I want to sell, it's time to build a store. In this situation, you can go with any type of store, a general, niche, or one product store. It truly doesn't really matter. This is a store I made for a future video, but I'm going to customize it for you real quick here so you can see the whole concept. It's actually for Valentine's Day. I might be a bit late on the trend, but here you can see something interesting. The store is translated. Most of you don't know what it says, me included. I'm translating the store to hit the customer on a much more personal level, but most people are lazy. They won't do that, so therefore I'm beating all of them. And as you can see, the store is pretty nice and looks quite legit. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over to shipping and simply just create a free shipping zone to the country I'm targeting. Never forget this, or you're gonna end up, like I said in the intro, getting tons of checkouts but no sales. Now, one thing to note when doing this is that certain countries have different payment providers. If you run to Sweden, you have to have Klarna, but good countries to go with that are super simple with payment providers are gonna be France, Italy, Spain, Germany, all the big ones. Now, the issue with translation is that it sometimes could be slightly inaccurate though, and I find some languages harder to deal with than others. But there are Shopify apps that could actually translate it for you, or you could just hire a Fiverr freelancer to be safe for like $5. And yes, I know this sounds like a lot of work and that you probably have a TikTok brain. You might even struggle just to watch this. But trust me, this is the only way to do it, and if you don't listen to me, you might actually go broke. I'm serious. But the good news is this, it's actually simple to do it efficiently with my method. But when it comes to video ad translation, it could once again become an issue. So I'm gonna give you two options, and the last one is by far my favorite. Number one is to launch an ad in English for 24 hours to all the European countries and see which country you get the most clicks in, where there is demand, and then go ahead and translate your store to that language. This gives you just like a little bit more safety. But if you did your market research beforehand, number two is gonna be your best bet. And that is to study the market beforehand and find an untapped opportunity. Order your video ads with no text from, for example, something like Viral Ecom Ads, and download a video editing software to just put simple captions or text over your video ads. It's only going to take you like 5 minutes, and you don't need any video editing skills for this, because then you make sure that you actually have your own vision, your own copywriting, and that you get proper translation. And here you can see a prime example of that I actually ordered myself, a video ad with zero text on it. And I'm personally gonna go ahead and put the text over myself. And this is content for my dropshipping challenge dropping next week, so make sure you hit the like button and that you subscribe to not miss that. So translate your store. I'm doing it for all my stores, just don't be lazy because you can make a lot of money. The ad strategy I'm mainly using can be found on my TikTok ads tutorial, so you can watch that later, but you need to hear this entire video first because there is something specific I'm doing that makes me so much money so fast every single month. And you can do it too. I'm gonna give it all away to you for free. But in short, my ad strategy is simple. 5 ad groups on TikTok, a CBO campaign spending $100 a day, targeting all ages besides 13 to 17-year-olds because they're probably broke and we don't want them to take their parents' credit card and spend like crazy online. Then I'm running 3 videos per ad group because you never want to rely on only one. Like TikTok is all about content creation. And following this method, you should be making already like 5 sales within the first 24 hours. So in the unlikely case that you're not doing that, simply just shut it off or restart the strategy over again. And as you can see on the screen, my students are crushing it using this strategy. Pretty much every single person that I teach this to is making a ton of money with dropshipping. So if you want to be a part of my mentorship program for dropshipping, you can send me a message on Instagram right here. So how do I make all this money? I mean, it's crazy even to me. Just imagine yourself making $200,000 to $300,000 every single month. It's absolutely nuts. And this method is by surfing trends and markets. I'm simply not in it for the long run. I pump and dump the products and countries with perfect market timing, pretty much like crypto. I find a product specifically using my NIA to show me engagement and proof of concept. Then I check for untapped markets to get a super kickstart for my product. Because if it works in the US, it will work even better in Europe as the competition is pretty much zero, and boom. First day in an untapped market, you're making like 1K a day with 50% profit. By timing a trend and finding an untapped market, you're pretty much guaranteed to make money. And once my country dies out, which it technically could do eventually, I'm just gonna translate a store and run it to another country. Or even just switch product, pump it, take my profits and exit and sell the stores. Then I take the money and just invest it somewhere else and double my net worth. This is the method I'm planning on using to reach $10 million by the age of 24, and I will on this channel be documenting the entire journey, so make sure you click a like and subscribe to my channel. And this strategy is pretty genius, I'm not gonna lie. It's really, really good. But I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.